Here we have Polaris U-joint grease, specifically for use on the U-joints and not for use on the other joints in the Polaris. Here we have the Polaris all-season, all-terrain grease, and this is for use on the Polaris ATVs and UTVs, and it is not for specific use on the U-joint. I have removed the seat and the right side panel, and the Zerk fitting that we're interested in is right next to the oil check valve, oil check screw, and I've got my flashlight on that right now, and the Zerk fitting is on the drive shaft just below it and slightly forward. Now you may have to move your vehicle in neutral, forward or back, so that the Zerk fitting shows up, but you can see it's clearly here. Now I found that I had difficulty getting my grease gun on it unless it was pointing out at about a 30-degree angle the way it is right now. When it was straight up and down, I had difficulty getting the grease gun fitting on it, and I'll show you the grease gun fitting on it in the next video. This is the angle I moved the right floorboard to easily access that grease fitting, and I haven't figured out yet how to completely remove that thing. The manual says it should come off, but I haven't seen how to do it, but I don't need to remove it since I was able to get to the grease fitting. Here you can see the grease gun fitting on the Zerk, and it works best for me at this 30-degree angle. I don't have it hooked up to the grease gun itself yet. I just wanted to see how the Zerk fitting fit on there, and it fits on nicely. I couldn't use that lock and load device. It's a little bit too long, so I'm just using the grease gun fitting that came with the Harbor Freight unit, and should come off fairly easily. We'll see. The foot plate on the right partially removed. One can easily get a grease gun fitting directly onto the drive shaft. Don't forget, you may have to move the vehicle forward or backwards to get it at an angle of about 30 degrees. I could not fully remove the lower foot assembly, but I was able to partially pull it away. 3 shots of grease did the job. One little handy tip for removal of these plastic tabs that hold the sides on, and this tool came in my Ranger Crew but did not come in my Polaris Sportsman toolkit, is this little pliers that has little grooves in the front for pulling these little tabs out easily, so you don't have to use screwdrivers to pull them out. This thing grabs these little tabs and pulls them out real easily. Why it doesn't come with the Sportsman, I don't know. Tools needed are a T20 Torx driver, 11mm socket, and I did use a kind of a long socket because these screws on the bottom of the foot housing are rather long. Also my pliers, which helps take these tabs in and out. It's got little teeth in the front for it. While I had the seat off, I checked the air filter, and interestingly enough, there are 3 snaps on each side which hold the cover down, and the back snaps on both the left and the right side were not completely closed, and the 2 upper ones on each side were completely closed. No matter what I did, I couldn't close those back ones, and what I discovered was, this is how it came from the dealer. In order to close it, close the 2 back ones first by pushing down all the way on the back of the cover, and then the 2 front ones close easily. I'm going to grease the rest of these fittings, but I haven't done it yet, and I'm not going to show it on this video. On the back, on the left side, On the A-frame, there's one here, one here, and the third one is right underneath the rear axle. So there's 3 on the left, there'll be 3 on the right, same routine. On the front A-frame, there is 1, and also a ton of cockleburrs here in this picture. Clean those grease fittings off real good before you put any grease in them. And I'm using the Polaris general purpose grease for this. And then we're done.